Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So today we're heading to Standard to check out a sweet Esper control deck. This one's from Shaheen Soorani, the Esper Control, or Control in general, master himself. So this is the deck that Shaheen played at this weekend's SCG Invitational. He cruised to an 8-0 record with this version of Esper Control. So congrats to Shaheen on a really awesome finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break it all down, if you enjoyed this deck and want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So the unique aspect of Shaheen's Esper control deck is it is no counterspell control. The deck is not playing counterspells whatsoever, but it is still playing the control game. So there is a ton of removal, primarily Grasp of Darkness, just the most efficient early game removal spell in the format. Instant speed, only 2 mana. But then there's a bunch of other options as well. Ultimate Price, a bit restrictive, but can kill a bigger creature. Anguish Unmaking can hit anything, so it's kind of a hedge against Planeswalkers. And Ruinous Path is the same way. It's not instant speed, but you don't have to pay any life, so Anguish Unmaking and Ruinous Path give the deck some outs to Planeswalkers across the table. And then the deck plays one sort of counter. So I might have cheated a little bit. Really, Slumgar's Command is more of a toolbox than a counterspell. It is a 5-mana negate, but it bounces, it kills things, it kills a Planeswalker, so it's kind of a little bit of everything mixed together. Just does a lot of different things for its mana cost. And then there are some wraths, 4 languishes and 1 descend upon the sinful. So the deck can theoretically get delirium. It's not intentionally filling its graveyard, but you will get the 4/4 angel once in a while. Also, it's nice because it exiles, so you don't got to worry about your opponent grappling things back from the graveyard, Den Protector, and so forth. And languish is just super efficient. And then you get a little bit of proactive discard in Transgress the Mind. You get to pull something out of your opponent's hand. Great answer to something like Emrakul or Elder Deep Fiend. And again, exile, so it answers these cards permanently, doesn't put them in the graveyard, where a lot of decks can get those cards back from the graveyard. And then, as far as card filtering or card selection, you got 4 Oath of Jace, and then 2 Dark Petitions, not really card filtering, but a tutor to let you find what you need. And the Oath of Jace also does double duty because the deck plays a bunch of Planeswalkers, so once you have the Oath on the battlefield, you're likely going to be scrying some amount every turn, so even though the draw 3, discard 2 isn't great, it is pretty awesome when you get that free scry, or scry 2 or scry 3 every turn. So 4 Jace Prince Prodigy, one of the only creatures in the deck. There's 2 creatures in the deck, but really, you want to loot and then flip it around into a Planeswalker. Liliana, Narset, Ob Nixilis, all creatures that do things, and most of them, discounting Narset, are removal in some form. Liliana can kill little creatures, Ob Nixilis can kill big creatures. Narset gives you some value, card advantage, kind of in the Oath of Jace category, letting you plow through your deck and find more action. You got 29 non-creature spells in the deck, so you're about 50-50 to hit with Narset's +1. And then a finishing Planeswalker, and all the Planeswalkers can finish the game if you ultimate, but Sorin is primarily a finisher. You can +1 it, kill your opponent over the course of a few turns, or negative exit to use it like a removal spell that gains you life and gets you out of the danger zone. But the real finisher of the deck is the non-Jace creature, Emrakul the Promised End. So you get 1 Emrakul after you kill all your opponent's stuff, gain control of the game. Emrakul sweeps up what's left over, and you also have a Coax from the Blind Eternities to get a second Emrakul from your sideboard, or to get your first Emrakul back from under a Stasis Snare, Transgress the Mind, Exile, things like that. As far as the mana base, Shambling Vents is an important one, another way to win the game once you've kind of gotten your opponent out of cards, killed all their stuff. A bunch of duels, Evolving Wilds, and some basics. In the sideboard, I mentioned an Emrakul to search up with your Coax. Kalitas, pretty helpful against aggressive decks with a lifelink. Dragonlord Slumgar, really good if your opponent sideboards out a lot of their removal. Same with Fathom Feeder. If it can just sit out there and draw you a card every turn, it's a really powerful creature. A couple counters in the sideboard. You get 2 negates and a summary dismissal to deal with Emrakuls. A bit more removal. And then a Duress and infinite obliteration to deal with opposing Emeralds and Elder Deep Fiends and so forth. Anyway, that is Esper control for standard. So that's been our instant deck tech for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.